injury, trauma, and PTSD without burning themselves out or breaking themselves down. Everyone comes with different limits, responsibilities, energy levels, and scars, some visible, some not. My job is to help you move forward with the time, tools, and resources you actually have, while giving you the skills to stay strong long after coaching ends. At the foundation of a great life is the ability to enjoy it. Hat becomes nearly impossible when your body feels like a constant obstacle, your nervous system is always on edge. Crowded rooms feel unsafe, sleep feels like another battle. I don't coach from theory. I coach from experience. I've lived the hypervigilance, the exhaustion that never really lifts, the nights where rest doesn't feel restorative. I've spent over 21 years in the United States Army, including 3 combat deployments, 2 to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan. I understand discipline, I understand trauma, and I understand the cost of ignoring both. This coaching is about regaining control of your body, your habits, your energy, and your mind, without extreme measures or false promises. It's about learning how to function, grow, and thrive inside the life you're actually living, not the one.
You hear that, Blaine?
I heard that.
We're going to talk about holistic fitness. Welcome to Family Spirit. It's going to be a great night tonight. I got my brother, Mr. Rohan.
You notice my back comes backwards somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. We're working on our new intro. The other intro wanted to do weird stuff, and it's still doing weird stuff, but that's okay because, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't. Tonight, we've got a very special guest. His name is Brian Cato. I call him Cato, and he's a very good friend of ours, and he's also a soldier. He's a soldier with a heart. He's overcome a lot of obstacles. He's a trainer. He's had a lot of things go, like injuries and trauma, things like that, and he's overcome those, and he's going to talk about that with us tonight. Okay, here's Cato. Hey, there you are.
Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you. The intro just didn't want to do what I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'll
It's
give it
all
like
good.
a minute next round. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome here, Cato.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here. And if when it comes to anything in this human existence, if you're expecting perfection, you're going to be waiting a while. So the key is 1% improvement daily. So,
Oh yeah.
So tell us why did you join the Army?
wow. I hope no recruiters are listening to this.
I'm going to make it the hardest one first, right?
Oh man. So, put me on blast. I actually joined originally because I had nothing going for me. I had failed. Well, I had been unsuccessful, should I say? Failed is a little strong. In my college pursuits, I showed up to school, straight out of high school. I let somebody talk me into going to college, signing up for college. And I very quickly found out that computer science was not for me because that's what they taught me into going down there for. And switched over to, oh my goodness. The shell shock is real.
So you're trying to figure out what's going on in college, right?
Yeah, so switched over to
That wasn't it.
law enforcement.
Oh,
It was law enforcement. I don't remember what the heck it's called. Anyhow,
Criminal justice.
that's it. So switched over to criminal justice, but I mean, that was the first time away from home, away from any kind of mom and daddy staying on top of me and making sure I was doing my studies and all that. And well, guess what? I spent all of my time playing pool and bowling and things like that, hanging out with my buddies, and I was unsuccessful in my school effort. So I came back. I didn't have anything going for me. I think it seems like when I went and spoke to the recruiter, I was actually working at a freaking Subway of all places.
Damn.
and a buddy of mine that I hung out with in high school, we didn't go to school together, but we'd become friends through church, I believe. But was hanging out with him, and he said, "Man, I signed up to be a mechanic in the Guard, and I'm good friends with the recruiter. You ought to come and talk with him." And so I did. And I had spoke with a Marine recruiter in between semesters at one point, but ended up deciding not to go that route. Well, I'll try to go ahead and finish school first, and you see how that went. A little statistics for you. I walked away from my first foray into college with 13 whole credits to my name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 13 whole credits, and I was down there with a full class load. So it wasn't like I was just taking one or two classes a semester. No, I've had a full class load, and I had 13 credits to show for it. So yeah, that was signed up. Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to find
I had no self-discipline when I went down there, clearly. And I guess I'm not alone in that. I'm sure the world is littered with people that go on their first trip to college and don't have anything to show for it. But anyway, that was it. So I originally got into the Guard because a buddy said, "Hey, you need to come talk to my recruiter." I didn't have any other things, that were showing up as available. I had attempted to apply for several different jobs without any success. And Subway was the one that gave me the job, and knew I didn't want to make sandwiches for the next however long. And it was just not appealing at all. And so I signed up as a mechanic in the Guard at Saluda. Matter of fact, Chevis Bailey was the name of the recruiter. And January 31st will be 23 years since signing up.
Congratulations. Wow. Yeah, I made that journey from college. I graduated, actually.
I was about to do
that. In 3 years. And I played baseball at Alabama, and I got hurt. Not major injury, but I got hurt. And back then, if they didn't want to renew your scholarship was done. But I used what I had and graduated in 3 years. It took me 19 more years to get my master's degree from the University of Alabama, finally. Wow. And I got a master's degree from the United States Air Force through continuing education and military history. It was free, so I was like, why not get another master's degree? Then in 85, I went active duty. I was too dumb to realize, hey, I could have been an officer because I had a degree. I went as a enlisted guy. I had 2 stripes coming out of basic training because I had college. They never told me, hey, you can be an officer. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't choose that path, but I love what I did. I mean, I loaded airplanes. It was fun. It was backbreaking, but it was fun. Great bunch of guys and gals I worked with. And, 26 years after that, I stayed 26 years and retired. While I was still active duty in Afghanistan, I got all my computer certifications. And as soon as I retired, I went to work over at Gunner Air Force Base here in Alabama. And I've been over there ever since 2012.
And he worked for Matt's dad.
Matt's dad was my commander. when I was still active duty. Can you believe
Wow.
that?
That's incredible.
So
I know,
that's
small
when we
world,
all
ain't it?
ended up meeting, and
Yeah.
that's when we're all like brother and sister here. And Blaine just successfully finished his journey through cancer.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the buttocks, let me tell you.
It sucked.
Congratulations.
Well, it was trying because I'm not the most physically fit person in the world now anyway. You know, since I come off of active duty, I quit exercising, I quit doing all the fun stuff I used to. I got lazy. I mean, I work on computers. Now I'm trying to figure out how to gain my strength back. I'm just now where I can start eating again, actually real food, and nothing through the feeding tubes no more. But it's
Oh wow. So you're like
It was
you're like
bad.
just finished.
Yep.
I started actually being able to eat, swallow stuff 1st of November. And it was little stuff like
Wow.
yogurts and puddings, and I couldn't do like breads or meats or anything like that. So now I can eat meat. I still can't eat bread that well because it still clogs my throat up a little bit. But
Gotcha.
one thing I want to ask you is what's some of the foods I can eat to help me gain weight back and to get my strength back?
So sticking within the guidelines of your doctor. Now, so let me caveat before I say anything else. One, I am not a registered dietitian or a board certified nutritionist. So this is purely based on my experience with nutrition. I do have a nutrition cert. I do have a lot of experience between working on myself and working with clients with applying macros and nutrition that way. But this is purely recommendation. This is not, registered dietitian stuff. So with that said, prioritize protein and staying within the guidelines of what your doctor recommended, and what you can eat. What I teach my clients, not all of them follow it, but as much as I can impress upon them, especially if they are not used to tracking or if they're making a major change in how they're eating, document it. So get you a notebook or a journal or something like that. Eat something and record what it was, how much it was, and within 30 minutes to an hour, how you felt. And use that as guideline on what you can eat and how your body reacts to it. And that way, for example, I had a coach last year that this guy is shredded to the gills and he's jacked. I don't know how, he basically does like photo shoots and stuff like that. So this guy is ridiculous and he can't eat rice.
Yeah.
If he eats rice within 30 minutes, he is done. Like he needs his time to lay down and go to sleep. And
Oh no.
so I mean, now he can eat things like potatoes. Potatoes are fine. They don't have that effect.
Yeah.
Pasta, within reason, he can do pasta, but rice, if he eats rice within 30 minutes, he's got to lay down.
He has to go to bed.
So,
oh my God.
So
that's one of the things right now I can't swallow just yet. I love rice. I just can't swallow it yet. Noodles.
That's interesting.
Like I said, pasta. I know it is weird. I had some, what was it? Chicken a la king casserole. Okay. And it had rice in it. It was phenomenal tasting, but I could not get the rice to swallow. Potatoes, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, I can eat very well. I just started eating like the little single packs of chicken and tuna. And like today, I added just a little bit of mayonnaise to it and some pickle juice. And I swallowed that down fine. But there's certain things that I haven't been able to get swallowed yet because I was told, because I had throat cancer, that it's going to take a while for my swallow mechanism to get right again. So what I'm doing is just trying
That
different
makes
foods.
sense.
I'm just trying different foods and see if I can swallow them or eat them.
Yep.
Like tonight, my wife's gonna make me some the hamburger helper with the
that's
cheesy
good.
macaroni. Well, it's the Velveeta kind because I don't like the taste of hamburger helper, but she's getting me the good kind that's good and soft, and she's gonna make me some okra. So I'm gonna try the okra
Ooh.
tonight. And I love okra. I just hope she don't overcook it like she normally does. She likes to have it where you can put it in the buckshot and shoot birds with it, but
Slurp it through a straw.
yeah, I
So
want to
I
see
can't.
Buckshot
my
okra.
my okra like
I
Oh.
can't.
down here it's got to be soft. I don't want it crunchy.
And now see
I
why he's
can't.
on the show. You don't ever know what Blake's
I
going to say.
I can't. That is one vegetable and phenomenal. Like it's so good for you. And that is one vegetable that I can't do it.
Well, there's
I
like three.
cannot do it.
Yeah, there's like three. I will never eat. I will never eat broccoli. I'll never eat cauliflower. I'll never eat beets. Those
Well,
three.
he's allergic to citrus.
Well, I do not like the texture of broccoli. Cauliflower just smells bad, and beets are just gross. And some people love them. I will never eat them. I would eat dirt before I ate those.
I can eat all three of those. Beets, I agree with you. I don't care for them too much. I will eat them, especially with vinegar. But that's just not. I can if I never eat that again. I could. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. So yeah. Now I will say I used to feel the same way about Brussels sprouts, but I have found a way to cook those to where I can eat them.
Please tell me
But
the way, because I might try.
Oh, I know what you do. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
so now it's going to sound funny coming from a coach, but it fried
Like
fried and yep, fried in butter or not butter. Yeah, fried in butter. It's like garlic butter.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember the seasonings offhand, but when it's fried, it comes out a little bit crispy, and the seasoning mix or whatever. Oh man, melt in your mouth. Me and my wife ended up dang near fighting over them when we found that place that had them. One thing we haven't done yet, but we're going to try it eventually because we both just loved the way those things turned out. Is we have an air fryer and we're going to try doing them in the air fryer and see how they come out.
Oh, I bet.
And then that would improve the healthiness of it, because that restaurant we got them from, I guarantee you they just like standard fried and
I guarantee
probably not all that good.
Hey, that's so good. That's good though. This is helping me out because I want stuff to help me gain weight. And another thing that I do a lot of is like it's Sure Plus or the Boost Plus.
Good. I was going to ask about that.
I'll take that, and I'll take a big cup, and I'll take fresh fruit, strawberries, bananas, grapes, peaches, a little bit of Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate Syrup because it has no sugar in it, and the Boost in there, and a little bit of milk, and I've got an emulsifier that I just grind the living crap out of. So, well, if you don't, the strawberries will choke me because they're a little bit too thick. But once I emulsify them down, it is wonderful. I do at least one of those a day. I'll also throw some applesauce in there with it.
Yeah.
I throw a little bit of different things in there to give it flavor.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll use the frozen strawberry bananas in there because it makes it real cold when you emulsify it. And I love the cold taste of it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have fresh fruit than frozen. But sometimes you got to do what you got.
For sure. I will say that that a lot of times those flash frozen vegetables and fruits, they are just as healthy. I mean, people will say processed, and to that I say shut the heck up, because when you flash freeze stuff, it locks in the nutrients. So like if they're just fresh, which fresh is good, no, don't get me wrong at all, but as they age, they start becoming less nutrient dense. So when you flash freeze, they flash freeze at the optimal freshness, and it locks the nutrients in. So I mean, it's
one thing I have noticed about the frozen, like the strawberries, bananas, they're a little bit sweeter than fresh strawberries. Strawberries aren't sweet like they were when we were kids. I don't know if it's what they're growing them with now, but like all of them, like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, they don't have that sweet flavor to them like they did when we were kids.
Have noticed that, especially with like raspberries and stuff.
Yeah.
Back to your question about improving strength and rebuilding the muscle and all that. So prioritize protein, and any meats that you can get, the ones you listed off, the chicken and tuna and all that, phenomenal choice.
Yeah.
That should be your staple. The smoothie you mentioned, solid choice there. Greek yogurt. I love the Chobani Pro because it's 20 grams of protein. Those things are amazing.
I forgot. I also put in that smoothie, I put in 2 big scoops of Chobani, the honey vanilla.
Okay.
That's some good stuff right there.
It's so good. I could eat it right out of the container, but I put it in there with the other stuff to give me a little bit more nutrients and stuff. I did was able, Jennifer took little round steaks the other night and put them in the crock pot.
Okay.
And I ate those. I ate 2 of those and some mashed potatoes and gravy. And she cooked me some carrots in there too. And I was like, oh, that was so good. I had missed carrots because I can't eat the regular carrots. I have to have them cooked. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm getting to start eat. It's a lot better. I did eat a burrito the other day. It was a chicken burrito with beans in it and cheese, and y'all, not having to taste it. And I was also able to eat the burrito shell on the outside. And I did eat a grilled cheese with soup the other day that was just phenomenal too.
Ladies, just coming right along. I'm so proud of you.
I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it.
Can I show you my recipe for Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, sure.
Now, Cato, you might say, lately, what's the point? But here it is. Boom. Maple, bacon, Brussels sprouts.
Bacon.
In the air fryer.
Guess what you put in it? Maple syrup, which you can get sugar-free. You can get turkey bacon because it's got the same smoked thing. And Brussels sprouts. You can either fry it in olive oil in a pan, like saute, or put it in an air fryer.
Yum.
Done.
Yum. So I'm working my way back up to bacon because I love bacon, y'all. And sausage. I did eat some maple sausages the other day. I ate like 2 of those and they went down. So I'm starting to swallow a little bit better than I was. But it's an uphill battle, and I'm gonna win it. I survived, 22 deployments. Iraq, Afghanistan, Panama. Let's see where else I was. Let's see, Jordan, Oman, UAE, Kuwait. I can't.
Did you go to the Philippines?
I've been to the Philippines several times. Yes.
That was 6-month rotations, or
well, since I was an Air Trans guy, ours they can be anywhere from 4 weeks up to 120 days, which is 6 months, or they put you at 179 when they wouldn't have to give you your next duty station. So yeah, but there were sometimes we would go. Just say we went to Oman. We were there for 179 days. They literally flew us out of country for 1 day, sent us back for another 179 days. That's how they got away with it. That's how the military got away with all that crap. Yeah. I mean, there was
That's
sometimes,
crazy.
Brian, we would literally come home, and the least time I got to stay home was 2 days. 2 weeks was the most I got to stay home. And I went
Golly.
back. I go back in the office, and since I've been gone so long, there was nothing for me to do. We didn't load that many planes. We might, because we did a lot of airdrops at the unit I was at. Well, next thing I know, I get orders. My commander goes, "Hey, senior, you're going back to Abu Dhabi, or you're going back here." Okay. So I kiss the wife goodbye, get back, pack my shit back up, and get back on a plane and go somewhere other godforsaken country.
Golly.
Yeah.
Everything about that sucked. I don't like the sound of any of that.
Oh, it sucked.
I'm going to pop this up real quick.
It's like this is all. Brian will appreciate this. Kato, why don't we ever start wars in these tropical countries where we can go to the beach after we kick some ass instead of seeing sand at the beach?
The Philippines and all that was the closest we got to that.
Yeah, no doubt. Now Panama was pretty close to it because we did have beaches. During just cause we want to whoop somebody's ass this month. That's what we called it. Yeah, we were done with the battle there within like 5 days.
Wow.
We wiped them out so quick. The Panamanian Defense Forces, it was like shooting fish in a barrel because they had, and it's funny, we trained all those idiots and they didn't listen to what we trained them in. So that's how we beat them so easy. Go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was just going to say, here is his QR code. Click that, and it'll take you to Brian's website. And
So
this is
that tool is or that QR code is for access to a free nutrition tool.
Oh, I know.
I designed. Yeah, so I designed this. I designed this as essentially a nutrition advisor in your pocket. So when you download that tool, you plug in your information and it'll prompt you. It'll tell you exactly what you need to fill in there. And once you've completed those steps, the coolest thing I have found to do with it is I've already preloaded. I've told it my goals and all that stuff, and it spit me out a plan. So I saved it to a note. And if I find myself out, I haven't, normally I try to, take a,
whoops. I'm sorry. I'm trying to delete it.
No, I actually like Brussels sprouts.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to delete it and it popped up.
Brian, I love your logo, man. That's killer, man. That is
thank you.
Killer, bro.
I appreciate that.
Ashes.
And that is the where that thought came from is, regardless of the reason you find yourself out of alignment with your ideal version of yourself, whether it's through mental health struggles, whether it's through cancer battles, or it's just life caught up and your structure has not caught up with the lifestyle you're currently living, and you find yourself where you've lost your edge.
That's the truth.
You have, as long as you have breath in your lungs, you have the opportunity to rebuild yourself, and that's the whole no limits, the Phoenix logo, rising from the ashes, because that's what it's all about. It comes down to a choice. You can decide at any point to take back control of your life. Now, obviously,
See, you're inspiring me to do more. I'm working on my strength. I still can't go to the grocery store and walk around the whole store yet. I'm good for about 15 minutes or so, and then I just get, because that cancer and the chemo radiation, it just drains your energy. And
yes,
I know now my body's healing from all the chemicals and poisons they put in my body. I'm sorry. If I had another choice, I would have found an alternative than having the chemo and radiation, but I was not given much of a choice of anything else.
Well, you're still here, which means you still have a purpose to be here. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been successful. So
Tell it, Cato. That's right.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And
we're
I tell you what
glad
helped-
you're still here.
I tell you what helped me out more than anything was Matt and Lee showing me love and honor and respect and pushing me to get better every day. I mean, Lee and Matt would call me just about every day and check on me and see how I was doing. Or they'd call and talk to my wife and see how I was doing. And that meant the world to me because I have nothing but love, honor, and respect for Lee and Matt, two of the greatest people I know, that I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world, you know? And now I got a new friend as you, Cato.
And I agree with you. They are some amazing people.
Oh, thank you, Cato. I want to show you guys a video of Cato with his son. One of the things I love about his No Limits Holistic Fitness is that he's starting to cater more towards leadership, leadership with your family and fitness. And you'll see the video and see what I mean.
Thumbnail along this line on both sides. Okay. Now we're at the bar. You want to keep your wrists roughly straight. Now. There you go. Just like that. Boom. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Cato, how much is he lifting there?
Pretty cool,
It's
huh?
95
pounds. See, I'll be glad when
So
I
it's
get.
third.
I'm glad when I get back to that. I couldn't lift 40 pounds right now if I wanted to. I just don't have the strength.
It's and nobody can take away. No judgment. You just lifted the weight of the world and just now started eating whole foods again back in November. So you're 1% improvement daily. 15 minutes that walking around the store or walking in general. Tomorrow might be 16 minutes. Day after might be 17 minutes. And that's how you would build the stamina is you find that window, and the intensity is you should during the completion of those exercises, you should be able to speak in full sentences. 15 to 20 minutes, so you're already in that window. And when you finish, you should be able to say, I could easily do more if you're at least at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
If you can't, then volume is kind of is bordering on too high.
Yeah.
Push yourself, but not to a point where you're wiped for the rest of the day.
Gotcha. I'll heed your advice on that. Because back in my younger days, dude, I could walk. I know when we loaded airplanes, my people walked 10, 15 miles a day, going back and forth to aircraft, pushing pallets, unloading planes, tying down vehicles. And I was buff back in those days.
Well, you were an athlete. You played baseball. I want you guys to see something really cool. Check this out. Some of Cato's customer testimonials. 5 out of 5 stars, guys. Before starting the program, my biggest struggle was consistency. This program assisted with consistency. It isn't rigid or unrealistic. The next one, there's more. You'll have to go to his website to see the rest of it. Before joining No Limits Holistic Fitness, I was struggling with motivation outside of 1 hour, 3 times a week. My job gives me to work. Okay, so there's more there too. So
That's pretty
he
good,
looked at their situation and he found a plan to fit them. If the intro had played right, you'd have heard his whole mission. I wanted to throw this at you, Kato. Let me show you this real quick. So I asked Google, how long does it take to create a habit? All right, so you've probably heard 21 days. That came from a 1960s observation. It's not a habit science, but it gives you the information. The average is 66 days to form a habit, when the range is actually 18 to 254 days, depending on the person, the behavior, the environment, and how complex the situation is. And it depends on the situation. Is it drinking a glass of water or going for a long workout?
Yeah.
So I think that having support as you're trying to build that habit, that's one of the things he told me when Matthew and I were looking at his program and doing some work together, was let's start building some healthy habits. And that was where I looked, and I feel really comfortable about that. I'm 26% muscle. I'm so proud. Today, I lost a lot of weight to be able to say that, because I was not.
Yeah, just get cancer, you lose a lot of weight. I lost 44 pounds when I had cancer. I went from 270 down to 227 right now when I weighed myself this morning.
So
One of the main things I lost the beer gut. That's a good thing. I lost the Dunlap.
it done lopped over your belt. I was just thinking,
So-
this is the time to start making your habits, right? You're clean slate.
So that you starting from ground zero,
Yeah.
scratch. So yeah,
Well,
it's a good.
Well, pretty much, Brian, I cut out all sugar because they told me before I had cancer that I had kidney disease, that I had to quit sugar. And I was a sweet tea fanatic. I'd put a lot of sugar and a lot of honey in my tea. I switched up now. I drink my unsweet sweet tea with stevia. And I got Matt doing the same thing. Matt did it before me. And I drink a lot of water. Now, I do have to flavor my water a little bit because you can only drink water so much. So I got the electrolyte boost, little stuff you just squirt in your water. And I'll put just a little bit of stevia in there to get the bite out of it. But yeah, I've been doing a lot better. I drink a lot of milk, love milk. And the reason I went to the Hershey Special Dark, it only has a quarter of the sugar that regular syrup does, because it's made from unsweet chocolate. And I just like the taste of it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just trying to get better.
And so that there's nothing wrong with any of the things that I've heard you mention. Aim for consistency and pay attention to how your body reacts.
Yeah.
Those are enjoyment factor. I mean, so some people would say you should cut out the chocolate too. Life is too short not to be able to enjoy the stuff you eat. So unless you're doing something crazy like trying to, compete in Mr. Olympia or something like that, you enjoy your life in moderation.
I do. And like I said, I've cut out like a lot of all my sugars. I was a candy fanatic. Now the only candy I eat is sugar-free candy, which I love. I actually think it's very good. I'm surprised. It's been interesting.
That's good.
But yeah,
I do have.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh no worries. I do have to shout him out. So that was 95. That was on the bar for that exercise. So that was coaching him through form. but he hit a new PR. He actually had, what was it, 115 on the bar.
Now, how old is he?
He will turn 15 in February.
That's amazing.
He's very statuesque to be a 15-year-old boy. He really is.
He is 15 now. I started taking my health and nutrition and fitness seriously about roughly 10 years ago is when I really started dialing in, and that was about the time where I stopped drinking like a fish. And
Quit that too.
yeah, so I haven't completely quit drinking. I still do drink, but I was spending a car payment on alcohol a month, and drinking every night. So when I started taking things seriously and getting right, they started copying. And so like I took him for his first DecaFit, which is essentially it's an indoor obstacle course functional fitness race. He came in third his first attempt.
Right
He
on.
didn't, no training. I said, how do you feel about getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning? He said, what? But he did it. We woke him up and we went up there and he did the dang thing.
Right on.
He did the dang thing. Heck yeah.
And he won an award for NJROTC today. They had their passing review, and he was awarded. He won an award for exceptional uniform.
Right on, man.
Exceptional appearance or something. So the way he maintained the uniform.
Hey, I'm impressed because the job I worked in the military, I was lucky to have my boots still black. So, and my uniform was cleaned about once every 2 weeks when it went to the cleaners.
Yeah.
But I never had them heavy starts because of the stuff we did. But yeah, my boots, they were lucky to be black. My uniform was lucky it was still not shattered and torn.
I would imagine that loading planes is not a very forgiving career on a uniform.
No, it wasn't. And it was funny. You'd have all these, like we go to the BX or something, we have an officer go, you're out of uniform. Your uniform should be crisp. I said, sir, you go load an airplane and see how crispy your uniform is.
You got the crispy, don't you, baby?
I used to give officers total hell because they're idiots. I had one day come out there and load. He's going to load a plane with us, dude. He lasted 3 minutes, and then he got back in his staff car, told his E9 to take him back to his office. He was done for the day. I'm like, dude, we do this for 12 hours. You couldn't last 4 minutes?
That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, hey, you know this guy right here? Wait a minute. Boom. Ah, look at him.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
talking
my
about
God.
uniforms.
Damn, Cato.
I know. He cleans up good, doesn't he?
That was, shoot, I think I was still wearing W1 in that picture.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
That was, gosh, what, 7 years ago or something like that?
I want everybody to see your title too. So he's an Army Master Fitness Trainer, ISSA CPT certified personal trainer, certified nutritional coach, strength and conditioning specialist, online certified coach, and elite trainer. So, created and built by the best in the world, our U.S.
That's
Army,
right.
and you're going to be able to take advantage to do the things that you need to get the best life you can.
Now, Cato, you are a warrant officer?
Yes, CW3.
You know what's funny? I didn't know what a warrant officer was the first time I went to Iraq, and what was it? 01. I come up upon one, and I didn't know what to do with them because Air Force got rid of them in 73. They're bringing them back,
right.
I think, this year. I didn't know what you guys were. I didn't know whether to call you sir. I actually didn't know what to say. And a young private says, well, you need to salute him. I said, why? He's not an officer. What is he? I didn't know. and the warrant officer just looked at me because you must be Air Force. I said, yeah, I got, E8 on my sleeve and Air Force on my chest. Yeah, I'm Air Force. He goes, well, I forgive you this time. The only thing that saved me with him, he was an Alabama grad. And we both, we both talked about being from Alabama. He says, yeah, I graduated from Alabama. And it was like 8 years after I did.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, it's like, wow.
That's incredible.
That was my experience with a warrant officer.
Hey, I got
So they
another
are
video. Cato sent me another video. You guys want to see it?
Let's see it.
It's all right, Cato. You got something else?
No, go
If
ahead.
someone is injured, here's what they should do to lose weight. They keep it simple. They focus on what they can work through. So, for example, shoulder tear. She starts with mobility, focuses on lower body exercises, and walking.
Right on.
So start on the lower body. Work your body up. Do what you can do. Don't overdo.
Hey, y'all be happy for me. About 4 months ago, my calf muscle shrunk.
What?
Well, my calf muscles shrunk
Oh.
from the cancer. Well, now my calf muscles are back. I've got nice calf muscles again, so I'm happy about that.
Heck yeah.
Just walking,
Way to go.
a little bit at a time. I make it simple. My little exercise routine. I walk from the living room back to the end of the house, come back a couple of times. I'll go out in the backyard. I don't walk around my backyard because I got 2 dogs and there's landmines everywhere.
Uh-oh.
But I do walk. I walk and get the mail every day. I'm doing a little bit more. I can unload the dishwasher now. I can take the trash out now, which before I couldn't do none of that. I'm still working my way up to helping Jennifer vacuum. I can't do that yet. I don't have the stamina or the strength to vacuum the whole house yet, but I'm working on that. But little bitty things, I just call them little goals that I have to accomplish more stuff. To do a little bit more every day.
Heck yeah. And that's what it's all about. It's very easy to get discouraged, especially when you know that you were in a place where you could accomplish all these things. Like, I mean, loading an airplane is not no easy task by any stretch.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah, and knowing where you were, yeah, of a very popular posting style here lately, or topic style, I guess you could say, is nobody tells you how hard it is to go from this to this, and they show like doing all this crazy stuff, these crazy workouts or whatever, and then they're barely getting on, stepping up on a plyo box or whatever, and it's so easy to get discouraged when you really remember what you used to be able to accomplish, and then you go through something, and it doesn't have to necessarily be cancer, but you get an injury, break your leg, mess up your knee, go through cancer, and we're human, so I mean, there's no help but for that to set you back.
Hey, Brian, when I was active duty, when I was like an E5 or E6, I broke my leg on an airplane on a C5, 36 pallets down, 36 up. Finished loading the plane with a broke leg. And then hobbled off the plane and said, hey, I need to go to the medic. And I get over to the medic, and the medic goes, you should have been here about 4 hours ago. I said, I had a plane to do. It was and when I became a senior NCO, I go out there and outwork my younger guys and show them, look, this is easy. This is how you load an airplane. This is how you do this. Well, senior, how do you know how to do all this? I said, I did it for, at the time, 20-something years. I said, we didn't get lazy when I was a young airman. We were in E1, E2. We went out there and busted our ass. Now, we worked hard and partied hard, but, I couldn't tell you how many times I walked on an airplane hungover as hell and still did a 12-hour shift and went back and did it again the next night.
They just don't build them like they used to.
No. And I get tickled, though, listening to them like, senior, this is hard. I said, life is hard, man. You just get in there, bust your ass, do what you got to do. And so you do sit in offices. Let me show you something. I'll come out and load 3 airplanes to your one by myself. Oh, you can't do that, Sergeant Rohan. Senior, I was like, watch me. And I did. I loaded 3 130s by myself. And before they got done with 1 130. I think y'all want to
program that Cato sent over, guys. Here you go, Cato. Maybe this will help people.
This is a workout design tool. So you plug in what your goals are, and there's the little quick walkthrough there. I'll have 3 days a week, build a program for that, and it'll produce a workout program tailored to your goals and equipment.
Right on.
So Blaine, you can use this, plug in there what you're working on, where you're currently at, and it'll give you a simple walkthrough to give you ideas to continue to progress. And by the way, this is in test phase. This is not live yet, so this is my gift to you.
I appreciate that, man.
Let me throw it back up here, Blaine, because you're going to need to look at it after so that you can, kind of get a look at it. For those of you watching, if you want to just replay the show, get your cell phone ready so that you can just take a picture of this. This is a gift to us tonight from Cato.
So that you use that link to access it once you click on the link that I sent in the chat.
I'll put the link out. Let me get that too.
Once you have that link, and I can't see what you do. I built it and all that, but I cannot see what anybody puts in there. So it's personalized to you. And any updates that are made will be there.
There you go. I'm just going to leave that up there for a minute. I feel like we're doing some good, Blaine. What do you think?
I'm enjoying this. Brian, Cato is awesome, man. And it's also nice to get to talk to a warrant officer that I don't have to salute anymore. So well, it's funny. It's funny, Cato. I got to see.
That's so funny.
Matt's dad, Tom.
Yeah.
At Mom's funeral, and I went up and introduced myself to him. I said, "Sir, I used to work for you." I said, "Now I don't have to salute you anymore." He just laughed and he goes, You did as much time as I did. I said, "Yes, sir, I probably did."
I'm just coming, looking at some of the things that, wait a minute. There we go.
Technology.
I've been on your website and pulling stuff off. This fitness program is built around sustainability, recovery, and mental strength, not burnout. Question: how much of a spiritual, because I know you're about balance, about fitness and nutrition, how much spiritually or supernaturally your spirit goes in with that? How do you balance these things out?
So change becomes easier to attain when it is aligned with your beliefs, when it's aligned with your goals, your standards. So for example, if I say that my family is the most important thing to me,
Yeah.
and I am, if that is in fact true, and I'm not just saying it or whatever to sound cool or sound like a good family man or whatever, if that is in something that I truly prioritize, then anything that prevents me or takes me away from being that family, that spending time with my family, supporting the family, being there for things that are important or important to them, and of course within reason, because the life demands that we provide. So to some extent, you have preferably find something that lights you up, you're passionate about, you're good at, or whatever, that you can also make money from to support your family. But if you're doing something that is counter to supporting that love or priority of family, then it's sooner or later it is going to create tension. So the same in creating new habits, the same in adopting a fitness program or new, healthier, sustainable habits. First and foremost, if you truly love your family, then how do you spend more time with them? Well, by extending your longevity.
Yeah.
And you extend your longevity by taking care of your health, taking care of your fitness, taking care of your strength, both mental and physical. So you you start working towards finding ways that you can either incorporate your family in that journey, but many times that is something that is not a societal norm. But thankfully that is becoming more of a societal norm of prioritizing health and fitness. But more often than not, you have to lead yourself first. So that means by that starts with one, identifying what is important to you, setting those goals, and then working towards them, having conversations with your family so they understand or can accept, hey, okay, this is why dad or this is why mom is doing this, because they want to be able to, for example, I want to be able to walk my daughter down the aisle. Well, I can't do that if I'm not here.
Yeah.
Or I can't effectively do that if I don't have the stamina or the strength to walk down the freaking aisle to begin with. So,
Brian, I'll tell you
Exactly
this.
what you're talking about.
That is the greatest experience in the world, walking your daughter down the aisle. I walked mine down the aisle. I'll walk my granddaughter down the aisle when it's her time. Dude, she'll be 18 in March. I'm like,
She
holy
is
crap.
gorgeous.
I'm an old man, dude. I turned 60 in October, and I'm like, damn, I got a 38-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old granddaughter. I'm old as dirt now.
But I've seen
Ages is-
television commercials about a man that was lifting this sack of flour, and then he's lifting a weight, and then he's lifting, and the whole point was he was lifting his granddaughter to put the star on the Christmas tree.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I saw that commercial.
Oh, that was wonderful.
So when you were just talking, I could see that little old man, and he was working himself so that he could have that moment.
That's
And you know
amazing.
what? That's what we need in society right now.
Yeah.
People want things instantly. They don't know what it means to work for something.
We do.
And moral.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we need to take this time as a call to action to teach those, like what Cato's been saying, teach your family, teach your kids, teach your grandkids, teach your loved ones, hey, I'm doing this because I love you.
Yeah.
your intention inside has got to come out. And that means stopping bad
Yes.
habits, starting good ones. And, I've lost about 52 pounds.
Yes.
And I've got, like, I'm starting to see, I don't know if it's probably a good thing you can't see it, but,
Well, you see it fine.
I got bat wings, a little bit. And so I got to tone up. You feel it? You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's not floppity flop. It's not like, dog ears, but I can feel it move and it's driving me crazy. So I would like to tone up. I want some free weights. I don't like the rubber band thing, like Blaine and I were talking about it. I don't like getting on a machine.
Mm-mm.
I think I could probably, do some weights like this and pulling up. And I really want to work on my stomach muscles too, because I have that little pocket, little baby pocket, because my son was a big baby. I mean, he's almost 6'5".
Yeah.
So
I know
I
he
saw
finally
him.
outgrew me.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he loves his Uncle Blaine. But I saw a guy on social media somewhere, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he was really shaking hard, shaking, just to the point of jerk, jerk, jerk. And the doctor told him, go ahead and accept this as your new norm, and it's going to get worse from here. You're going to lose control. He started weightlifting.
Good for him.
Ozzy Osbourne did. And he does not have that. He's been able to master his body control
Right on.
by doing some weightlifting. And that's what Ozzy Osbourne did. I'm sorry, Luna's flipping out. She figured out that Uncle Blaine's on camera. There.
Hello,
There
dog.
he is. Bless.
Hey, sweet girl.
She loves Uncle Blaine, and she's going to irritate the shit out of me until I let you see her. But so I just thought about that one too. Baby, get out of the camera. So I just thought about that guy. He's like, oh no, that's not going to be
Good for
I'm
him.
not going down without a fight.
Yeah.
And you have to see him. He's got very little tremor.
Nice.
I thought, hey, that's an inspiration. And I'm hoping to do the same.
You will.
Lowered my A1C.
I know I'll never get back to my muscular build that I had playing baseball when I first went in the military. I know I'll never have that back because age. But I'd like to be toned again. I like to have my 6-pack back. Well, I actually had an 8-pack at one time. I was a stud back in the day when I played baseball. That's what
Yes, I know.
like when I went to basic training, man. That running part was easy because our coach run us to death. I run stadium stairs like they were nothing. And he said, well, you got to do 1.5 miles and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I did it like the first time, and I just half-assed it, like 6.5 minutes. And I beat everybody in the squadron. I even beat the instructor. That's all he did every day was run. I'd see him out there 3 or 4 times a day running. It's like, I guess you ain't got no real job. You just come run all day. But yeah, dude, back in the day, I was fit. And then the older I got, the less I went and worked out as much as I did. And age caught up with me finally. So.
Oh.
And it will. Movement is life, and especially the older you get, the more important it is to maintain that.
Yeah.
Because age will slow. It's fairly well documented that research indicates that you start losing muscle somewhere between ages 30 and 35 for males, and it seemed, I think it's around that time for females too, but the thing is, you don't have to just accept that, by increasing protein, working with the protein and continuing strength training and regular movement, you can reverse the effects of aging and also slow the loss of muscle.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep doing it.
Well, my biggest problem though is having coming off the flight line. And once I started making rank, they put you in more office positions. So you're not out there every day working out. And working 12-hour shifts in office ain't the best thing in the world for somebody. But actually,
it is not.
Actually, mine would be like 14-hour days because you'd have to come in an hour earlier, get a briefing from the off-going shift, stay an hour later, give them a briefing on them coming back in. And some days you would do that 7 days straight and no day off. So you got to a habit where you're just like, all I want to do now is go take a shower, eat, and go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, we're getting there. I remember watching a movie with Sylvester Stallone, and he had something where he was in his rig, and he had this thing, and he was working his arm as he was driving down the road, and he was going to do weight. Was it arm wrestling?
That was over the top.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling.
So isn't that cool that he thought of a way to continue? I think I'm gonna.
Well, guys, I'm gonna jump off of here now. I smell Jennifer in there cooking, and I'm. So I'm going to get me something to eat. Plus, I ran out of something to drink. So I am off here, Brian. Cato, you're awesome, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I will work on some of the stuff that you told me today. Okay.
Make use of that bot and the one that was posted on the screen. That nutrition tool.
I screen them.
So Jess Elliott and Kathy Dalton are saying, "Glad you're better, Blaine," and they learned a lot from the show, Cato. So that's awesome.
Bye, y'all.
Guys, bye, Blaine. So are there any topics you want to cover before we close?
One thing we didn't cover, the program is built on on my core method, and it's consistency over complexity, operational habits that drive visible change, realistic structure built for real life, and environmental first decisions that eliminate friction. So essentially what that means is identifying the obstacles ahead of time that may result in throwing someone off of the chosen path, and working on either ways to work around those or eliminate them.
Okay. So what that means is if I could plan ahead what might throw me off, then I will plan ahead of how I'm going to deal with it. Like I'm going to get called into work, or I've worked too hard, too long. I don't have time to work out because I'm exhausted. I'm going to come in and fall in the bed. So what would I do in that case?
5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, and it could be anything. So, say let's just say for the sake of this exercise, you came into the program, you said on the front end, okay, I have 3 days a week that I can work out, and I have 20 minutes a day that I can walk. You have one of those days that stuff just hits the fan, and it falls on one of those 3 pre-chosen workout days. Now you have 2 options. You can either shift that one day to an alternate day. So you've essentially shifted. So you made a plan, but you planned ahead for that. Or, okay, I don't have 30 minutes or 45 minutes for the workout, but I can knock out 5 minutes of it, or I have 10 minutes that I can do. You follow through with that 5 to 10 minutes because you make further progress by maintaining consistency and building on the habit than you do about being perfect. So what happens if I can't get the full 45 minutes, so I'm going to skip this time. One skipped workout isn't going to break the routine. It's not going to break the momentum unless you let it derail you. But what essentially you just did was you subconsciously told yourself that your promise you made to yourself doesn't matter. So essentially you've eroded the internal trust you have with yourself, and by skipping that one day. So you either, okay, so I know today is going to be a longer day for this, that, and the third. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plan. I'm going to walk today because walking isn't that big of a lift. And I'm going to rotate that workout to tomorrow, which is fine. You pre-planned that. You already identified, hey, this is going to be an issue today. Or if you didn't pre-plan, okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do 5 minutes, non-negotiable. But even if you don't make it past that 5 minutes, you've kept the promise to yourself because you still showed up and you started the workout. You did 5 minutes. So you just reinforced that promise. Hey, this is important. I had to adjust for this longer day, but I still followed through on the promise.
There you go. That's a great opportunity to get your mind in the right headspace. Move things around. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you failed, right? And I pulled a
That's a fact.
questionnaire off somewhere, I don't know, from you. And that's what it looks like. And this is exercise history questionnaire. Why are these types of things important?
So the exercise history questionnaire helps me to understand where a person is starting from. So that helps me customize their programming, which I use an automated form now. That's an old form. I don't know where you found that. It might have been from when I first onboarded you.
Yep.
All of that stuff is pretty well automated now. But that questionnaire helps me determine where the person is starting from. So I'm not going to tell you, okay, so we're going to work out 5 days a week. You're going to knock out 20 exercises each session, and we're going to start with clean and jerks, because that would be insane. You're not at that level. So that questionnaire basically lets me know, okay, is this person a beginner? Yeah, are they intermediate? Do they have a basic understanding of weightlifting or functional fitness or whatever? Or are they advanced? And they just basically are here for the accountability because they haven't been following through. And that's essentially what that's for.
That makes sense.
It forces
to look at it, the full picture.
Yep. It forces them to be, ideally, it forces them to be honest with where they're at and recognize where they're at. And then when we do the onboarding call, I have a clear picture of where they're at. And so we can talk intelligently about, okay, this is what it's going to take to get to the goal. This is where you're currently at, and how we can structure their programming to meet them where they're at, versus a cookie cutter program where, okay, there is no flexibility. This is what it takes to be successful in this program, and it doesn't take into account where that person is starting from.
That's true. So I did a search before we came on together, and I said, why is mind, body, spirit important, to keep balanced? And something that popped up was because you don't live in pieces, you live in a whole. And you're always talking to, the mind, your body, spirit, they're always talking to each other. So if you have chronic stress, if you have trauma that's not processed, and your thinking is not so clear, it's going to cause your body to dysregulate and have pain stored in certain parts of your body. And I don't know if you've ever had trauma released out of the muscles. Oh my God. I cried, I screamed. It was an intense process, but hey, it was about the overall health. and processing that trauma. And then the spirit, meaning, what is our purpose? What is our value? What is our connection? I worry about people feeling that their discipline is just empty. That's what scares me, because I know that it takes the quality of life away.
So discipline is important, and I'm not going to discount discipline because it is important. What I have found, though, is that the modern push on discipline, the emphasis that people are placing on self-discipline makes it seem like you should already have it, or you should already be exercising it, and if there is something wrong with you if you're not willing to do it, and there's just no hope for you. It paints the picture that if you don't have it or you struggle with it, there's somehow something wrong with you, and that isn't accurate, because discipline is something that can be learned, it can be built, it's just like a muscle. You can exercise it and strengthen it.
Yeah.
Now, what makes that even easier is to start by identifying your personal standards, your personal values, and building your plan in accordance with that so it matches that. Because, a prime example of this is 75 Hard. So 75 Hard is created based on the research that you were presenting earlier, where on average research indicates that 68 to 120 hours or something versus the pre-thought 21 days. Well, so 66 days is like the minimum. The 75 came from the fact that the creator of that program had 75 days until whatever the launch thing they were doing. So that's where the 75 came from. But it builds on all these arbitrary different things. Not that there's anything wrong with it, and it's not a fitness program, it is a mental toughness program. However, it's 75 days, and of course they have the 75 Life or whatever, the Hard Life program or whatever, where you keep building on it. But 2 workouts a day may be something that I need for the goals I have in life. But if I'm doing 2 workouts a day and that does not match what my goals are in life, and it's also creating tension and hurt, and I'm not spending any time with my kids or my spouse because I go to work, do a workout in the morning, I go to work for 10, 12 hours a day, and then I'm trying to do another workout at night, then am I being in alignment with what I say matters most? Probably not. Can it be beneficial in a season? Can it be a good jumping off point? Absolutely. But for most people, it's not something that will be sustainable, and it's not something that effectively or efficient or supports their family especially long term.
This is my hashtag. Attitude is everything. I've had that, God, for, I don't know, forever and ever. When I was teaching dance, when I was teaching, the things that I've done over the years with children and physical fitness. And so attitude is everything. And that's one of the things that we talk about here on Family Spirit. We talk about how your intention, basically your intention drives your life. It drives what you do, what you say. And like Katie was just saying, he was just explaining very clearly that the reason why you can be successful in what you choose to do is because your passion is behind it. Your intention is to live longer because you want to be with your family longer. You want to be a good leader because you want your kids to see it. And that's what I love about that video of you with your son. He's clearly picking up on dad's traits. So, that's why I wanted to have you on the show. There's a lot of things that, hey baby, there's a lot of things here that that are the same. I look at things from a spiritual standpoint. You're looking at it from a little different standpoint. You're looking at it from fitness, but still, what do we have in
They're all
common?
intertwined.
We're wanting to have a better life, and we're wanting to have that right intention.
It's all about being holistic, regardless of what you believe. And whether you believe in the spirit realm, God, the universe, whatever, there's no denying its existence.
Right.
Now whether you whatever name or whatever definition or what have you want to prescribe to it, that's between you and the
Personal
afterlife or whatever. That's your personal choice. But there's no denying that when someone is living devoid of purpose, decline happens quickly.
Yeah.
So
I've seen people die and they're still here because their purpose is gone. Their vitality's gone. Their passion is gone. Their eyes are. So that's the kind of thing we've been talking about on Family Spirit for decades. That's why you're here. So, well, thank you for being on. I know we've gone a whole, hour and a half, but hey, that's great. I feel like we reached the people we needed to.
Well, I appreciate you having me on again. I'm glad that the show is back on. I know y'all had a little bit of a hiatus, so
yeah, we took a
this
little
is really
break.
cool.
Yes, it is. Well, come do your own show. Have your people on. Oh, Kathy, yes, thank you. It is very interesting. I appreciate you, Kathy. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you for watching All Access Network Television Family Spirit with Brian Cato. Have a great night.